Hi there, and welcome back to the Santa Cruz Sandhills. I'm Noble, and I'm here to take you on an exploration of the Santa Cruz Sandhills here at Henry Cowell State Park. We're in a really special area. I am standing in the middle of two habitats, each in a different stage of succession. What's succession? Succession is the process by which plants retake land that's been burned. In other words, they start growing in a place that has died. And succession is what leads to new forests. So after a forest fire comes through an area, like fires often come through the Santa Cruz Sandhills, certain plants will start to grow and make the land a great place, a place that's habitable for other plants to come and grow and eventually other animals to come back. And this area is super cool because we can see that in action. So let me show you what I'm talking about. We're gonna start first with the left side of this path. This side here had a fire come through just a few years ago. And so as you can already see, there's a lot of small plants, a lot of open area. There's not a lot of tall trees, and a lot of things are still burned and dead. Let me show you what I mean. Look closely at the ground as I walk. This area has these small, tiny grasses. Small plants are the first to succeed in an area after fire. But look at all this clear space. All these dead, burned logs. All of these small bushes, and not a lot of trees. The fire happened very recently, which means the plants haven't had a whole lot of time to recover and succeed in this area. Now let's take a look at the right side of the path. This area had a fire come through it about 10 years ago, much longer than the other area. And as you can see, well, as you can't see, there's not a lot of ground. There's a lot of tall bushes and lots of tall trees up here. Here on the ground, there's not as many of those small grasses as we saw. There's more of these huge bushes of silverleaf manzanita. And there are these tall trees that you don't see on the other side. This area has had a longer time to recover after fire. More bushes, more plants have been able to grow here, which have weeded out the small ones that first succeeded this area. How cool is it that we can be in the same ecosystem, the same habitat, and have different phases of succession going on all at the same time? Fire is so important to ecosystems, not only here in the Santa Cruz Sandhills, but in habitats across the world. And, well, yeah, seeing this dead and burned tree might be a little bit sad, and I don't want it to be dead either, but it's a necessary thing that happens in nature. It's a cycle. Fire comes through and burns away all of the dead things. Things that are on the ground, that are just sitting there, maybe even in the way of certain plants and animals. It gets rid of those and helps plants and animals start fresh and new. Some plants even need fire to survive. And check out our plant video to learn more about that. So it's so important that we regularly have controlled burns. Controlled burns is when we, as humans, as naturalists, set fire to certain areas of the woods. And it's controlled. It's not a raging forest fire like you may hear on the news. And this is really, really important to keep our forests safe. Because if we don't burn areas regularly, lots of things will pile up. And so when a fire does come through there, maybe accidentally, the fire is way bigger than it should be. And that is when it's more dangerous. So having a little bit of fire every so often is much better than having one huge fire every few years. So maybe open your mind to fire and see its importance, because look around. So many things have grown back in this area even though a fire came through here a few years ago. So it may seem really devastating, but nature is very strong and nature pushes through. Thank you so much for watching today's video on succession. If you want to learn more about succession and the different types of succession, I encourage you to do your own research because there's so much more detail that we could go into, but we can't in our video. And keep going outside, keep looking around and seeing what you can find. Come visit us here in the Santa Cruz Sandhills. For now, I'll keep taking you with me on my adventures as we explore the different parts of this ecosystem. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good rest of your day.